July 25th, 2025. I'm driving down Plain Hill Road in Norwich, Connecticut on a blazing hot and humid day. And I'm going to gather some footage. I'm going to get some video today. Not anything too radical. Let me take a right down here. Technically, Plain Hill Road morphs into Huntington Avenue. So technically I'm on Huntington Avenue right now. Now I'm on West Town Street. The clouds, I kind of want to, part of the reason I wanted to get out is, besides just gathering any amount of footage, which I always like to do, is the potential for some incredible cloud formations. We have the potential for some severe thunderstorms later on, and sometimes prior to that you can get some really good, visuals with the clouds. I mean, nothing spectacular at the moment. Hopefully something kicks in. But this is just going to be a video where I kind of drive around. I have no idea where I'm going. It's not going to be a long video. But I have to gather some footage on a regular basis as we slow down due to a stop. Okay, we got a red light up here. I got a big truck in front of me. Can't really see the light. All right. But I'm just gonna aimlessly drive around for a little while. Hopefully at some point I can get past this guy in front of me here. He's obviously hauling some very heavy material in the back of that truck. Right now I'm on Yannick Road. I'll be getting out of Norwich real quick. I'm going to jump on the Route 2 up here. All right, let's see if I can get past this guy. Not to be impatient, but we just gotta get down the road here, folks. Yeah, I mean, there's some real ominous looking action over there to the right as far as potential thunderstorms I mentioned a moment ago. Obviously, if that does kick in, that ends the video instantly. Or I don't know about instantly. It depends on, if I'm on Route 2 West, or Route 2 towards Hartford, let's put it that way. Man, I can feel this bridge shaking up and down. It was built in 1999, so yeah, these trucks, I got a couple of them. The one to the right of me and one right behind me, obviously carrying extremely heavy, cargo or whatever. I don't know what's in there. I can't see. I can't see inside the back of that truck, but all right. So let's take a look up. Yeah, the clouds. I mean, again, to the right, as I get off the ramp here, are a bit ominous. And again, that could be a problem depending on if I happen to be on Route 2. It would be extremely difficult for me to pull over quickly. I mean, if we were in the midst of really a torrential quick rain that comes out of nowhere, I'll have to wait till the next exit or something like that. So that's That's a concern, but to the left, not much cloud activity, so I think I can just roll right now and not worry about it. We're going west, so let's see. Exit 33, Bozrah and Montville. Now, that could be interesting, but I think I'm going to keep going a little bit further. You know, just for laughs, let's get off this thing. New exit 33, old exit 23. This is a, you know, I used to do random drives where I just drive literally anywhere. Get in the car, drive around, record the video, upload it to YouTube. And it's kind of heading in that direction as to what this drive is going to be. I wanted to get, you know, again, some really cool footage. Wow, what is this? I'm going to turn in here just for a second. This is like a new, I don't know about a new. Okay, Gorin's, yeah, Gorin's Furniture Warehouse. And I don't know what that says. Golfigagle Supply. Very tricky name, I think, to I have to get closer to the sign. Let me back up here. All right, there's some, I don't know, GE appliances. I'm not sure if they're for sale down here or if it's an older business, but right in front of us we have Inner Peace Connecticut Wellness Center. Did not know that was here. And appliances down there to the left. I don't know. Okay, let me read that. Gulf Eagle Supply. Okay, now we got a good bead on it. So it's a big warehouse and supply, you know, a company that supplies certain goods, or, well, it says roofing, siding, and windows, so there you go. And I got somebody from Gorin's, a truck turning in here. That makes perfect sense, because that's what a warehouse is. All right, let's roll out of here. And I'm just kind of looking around a little, see if I can see some signs. Bear Hill Wildlife. Okay. Montville, if I go right. Montville is huge, but let's do a little cruising around the back roads here until we figure out what we're gonna do here. I am on Bozrah Street right now. And you get your cornfields on your right hand side over here. There's a, I don't know if they still have a farmer's market. That used to be coming up here on the right. Yeah, I don't see, I don't know what day it is. Right there to the right, you can see that couple of cars, and there's really nothing going on right now there. There's a couple of people selling some things, but when that farmer's market is, firing on all cylinders, it's packed to the rafters. There's cars all over the place. There's people selling fruits, vegetables. They make homemade cheese and different things from their, goat milk, cows, everything. So I'm in Bozrah right now, cruising down what my GPS is telling me is Bozrah Street. I'm gonna have to believe that. But I'm gonna try to. All right, what is this right here? Revelation. Okay, there's a church up here. Big, beautiful fields on both sides. And as I look to my extreme left. Yeah, those ominous clouds are still there, but I don't think I'm too worried about it right now. Dead end. All right. Don't want to go straight because that's a dead end. Now I am on Bishop Road in what I believe to be Bozrah, Connecticut, with a massive multi-acre field to my right. Where this leads, I'm not 100% sure. This is not my old stomping grounds. I've been up here before. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I shot video up here a few years ago. Bishop Road continues on. And there's a few houses here and there, but this is not a heavily populated area at all. As I carefully navigate Bishop Road in Bozrah, Connecticut. Bozrah is another big, it's not a heavily populated town, but it covers a tremendous amount of area on the map. I mean, it's a big... There's some nice houses, but Bozrah is a big area. Montville is a huge area. They're both enormous, but again, not heavily populated. A nice relaxing cruise, summer cruise. Friday, I'm going to turn around. Friday, 2:37 p.m. right now. I mean, I don't know. There was a sign that said Revelation Church, and I just saw... I think it's a... let me see if I'm mistaken or... Yeah, Revelation Church. I think I've been down here. I think I covered this before. Yep, I did. I have this in another video, so I'm not going to really dwell on it. I thought this might have been something different, unique, or whatever. But I'm going to turn around because I already had this on video. And that's fine. I mean... it might be tricky to find that video. Is this guy going to let me go? I got somebody actually coming up the road here. All right, so let's get back on the main road. Cruise around. And the sky doesn't look bad at all in front of us. All right, I got to be really, really careful coming out of here, because it's looking around those corners is difficult. And we're back on Bishop Road now. I am going to proceed forward. Where this takes me, I don't know. I guess we'll find out together. Now, if I had a photographic memory, I'd know where I'm going, because I have been on this road before. Now, there's a building to the left there. It says shipping, I think, or let me read that. China shipping. Wow, somebody has a big, huge shipping container back there. It says China shipping. Massive letters on the side of that metal container. This is a very narrow road I am on right now, in a very steep hill, descending really more than you would expect, considering I really haven't done too much hill driving on this cruise. This is still Bishop Road. Wow. So for folks that, you know, grew up around Bishop Road or are familiar with that, I mean, this is gold. And okay, this is going to put me on to, as I wait for my GPS to inform me, South Road. I could be in Bozrah, I could be in Montville. Not 100% sure. And there's a car. Probably the first, you know, I mean, there's very, very little traffic on this road. Julian's Pools. So somebody is having either a pool installed or repaired right back there on South Road. And there seems to be an old abandoned home right there to my left. That's, I would say, 1800s. Let me get a look at it. It's early. I mean, early 1800s. Maybe mid 1800s, but that thing's been around. Obviously needs restoration. South Road appears to be... Alright, what's this place? This looks kind of cool. So let me briefly go in here. Open. Well, I mean, it looks like a lot of antiques and like really, you know, really cool stuff. It says yard sale, so that's Goodwill, God's Will Second Chance Open. Alright, they have furniture, kitchen items, clothing, total liquidation sale going on right now. As I jump out, alright, where the heck am I? Let's get our bearings here. Salem Turnpike. I did not expect to be on Salem Turnpike, I can tell you that much. Well, okay, I'm crossing into Leffingwell. Wow, I am never in a million years did I expect to be where I am right now. I'm heading toward, if I keep going straight, I'll be hitting Walmart in Norwich. That is a very, I mean, this video is, I mean, okay. This is going to fall into the category of completely and totally off-the-wall driving video, where I drive in the back country of Bozrah, Montville, very briefly, and end up back in Norwich, where Walmart and, I mean, I'm on Salem Turnpike. I guess you never know. Teddy Lane to my left. There is a West Plains Cemetery back there. New Concord Green condominiums on the right-hand side. All right, well, You just never know where you're going to end up. I'll have to title this completely random raw video footage of a guy driving around aimlessly in a tiny section of southeastern Connecticut. In July of 2025. All right, let's go straight. I haven't been down here in a while. I haven't shot video down here in a little bit. It's smoldering hot right now. The Holiday Inn is on the left. It used to be in the 70s, back in the glory days, my glory days. That was the Sheridan. Buddy Rich, who some people to this day say was the world's greatest drummer, performed there. As I go straight down, Salem Turnpike. This is a definite departure from South Road in Bozrah, that's for sure. Welcome to Norwich, established 1659. So this is officially falls into the random drive. I may have to come up with a new title for this type of this video. Guy gets into car, hits record, and drives around for a while. Video. Maplewood Court. There's no outlet. As far as I know, I have never covered this in any of my videos. Well, we're going to rectify that situation right now. I have no idea what's down here. Looks like a nice little neighborhood. There's got to be somebody out there in the world that's thrilled that I'm driving down here right now. They used to live here, or maybe 75 years in the future, somebody fell upon this video and said, whoa, that's the house I grew up in. It's a big, huge field in front of us right there. As I turn around at the end of, I guess they call that a cul-de-sac, Maplewood Court. Catch this gentleman on video backing into his driveway. Little does he know he's recorded on video for all eternity. So we're going to get back to where we were. I'm glad I covered it. Maplewood Court in the books. I think I can go right on red. I don't see anybody coming, so why not? Technically, this is still Salem Turnpike. A little bit further up the road, it's going to turn into West Main Street. I think I'm going to take a drive over to the community college briefly. I did a walk around video recently. I was on the ground. I walked all around. I'll show you when I get there. I'll be there momentarily. But I walked around the entire campus of the beautiful community college in Norwich, Connecticut. But I thought to myself, I want to drive around these grounds. School's out. It's wide open, so I can, it's good to get a different view. I want to grab some of that footage right now. I'm in the Norton Village area, this section. I'm going to get onto New London Turnpike. Technically, I'm on Sycamore Road right now, but I'm going to get into... I'm going to get right on to New London Turnpike. All right, so I see some cars over there. So maybe, I don't know, summer school. There's something going on over there. Take a left. So I'm going to turn into the main entrance. Three Rivers Community College. Right here, I'm driving on an area that used to contain Norwich Regional Vocational Technical School. Right here. It was demolished. And wow, this needs mowing. I don't know what. I'm sure the intervals are. If school was in session, this would be all pristine. But right now, at some point the grounds crew will come in. I'm just driving around the back parking lot here. This is where, there was some parking here for Norwich Tech, but to the left of me was the school. It was a big technical high school. You could go there, learn a trade. That has now been relocated to Mahan Drive in Norwich, and it's really state-of-the-art. As I drive, wow, there's quite a few cars back there. Yeah, so there's obviously something going on. Let me drive. There's one more. It sounds bizarre, but I want to cover one more parking lot over here. Yeah, there's some ominous, again, I look to the left and I see some pretty ominous clouds back there. Wow, there's actually a vehicle out here. Why in the world would somebody be out here besides me driving around? This parking lot used to be a baseball field and soccer field and, athletic fields. Melrose Park, straight ahead, if you walked over that wall, that's Melrose Park. And if you kept going straight through those woods up the hill, you would hit Uncas on the Thames. As I make the rounds of this is state property, no trespassing. Well, I don't consider myself driving around here trespassing, but there used to be a pond. This is an interesting story. This used to be a field right in front of us. You can see some of the ominous clouds straight ahead. This used to be a field, soccer, baseball, as I said earlier, but right here was kind of the edge of the soccer field. But during huge rainstorms, really, really just crushing, torrential, you get 6 inches of rain in a short period of time. This was a field in front of us that would kind of get maybe a foot or two of water. It would flood. It would recede relatively quickly after the storm passed, but you would get a flood. One time, my brother and myself, we had a square rowboat. We threw it in the back of the car. We had I don't know what it was, a Chevy Vega or something. It was a little tiny wagon. Threw it in the back of the car, drove it down here, and threw it in, and we're rowing around this field right here, right in front of us. I was literally rowing 10 feet in front of me and all over the place. And by the way, there was one area where the water was going into this circular, I don't know what it was, but it was like a vortex. You don't want to be pulled down into this thing. It couldn't have pulled the boat down, but because it was a small area, but it was, you keep away from this type of thing. Anyways, we were rolling around, all this stuff right here. And Thames Valley College is what that used to be called over there. Everybody gathered at the windows, and they're like, hey, look at these guys. I know some people that were in the building. Look at these guys rolling around out in the field. This is one of these stories from, it's got to be like 1973 or so. I don't know the exact year. 73, 4, 5, somewhere in there. But over here was the, other school. Guys were looking out at us and just going wild. Teachers. It was, there's people rowing around out in the soccer field. Okay? I mean, people, occasionally it'll be mentioned to me to this day, I didn't think it was any big deal rolling around there at the time, but we attracted a lot of attention as I drive through the parking lot of Three Rivers Community College. And if you do want to look at my, you really want to get an on-the-ground look at things, I'm walking all around the back of these buildings, going right up to everything, checking everything out. As a matter of fact, there's a building up here to the right. I'll drive up there just to get a, kind of a wider sweeping view. But no, I was right here, right up there. They used to have, the 4-H club and different, what is it, 4-H Expo. They're still doing it. I mean, 4-H, that goes back, 40, 50 years or whatever. They're still doing it. So that's great. Let me back up. Get you a view of the front. Although, I mean, if you want a real good view, right there, Yukon College of Agriculture, Health, and Natural Resources. There's a light on in there. There's a couple of cars, so there's somebody in there. And they're probably looking out the window at me thinking, who in the world is this person? Let's get a view of some of the ominous clouds that are off there to the right. I'm not seeing any lightning. I'm not hearing any thunder, so I think we're going to be all right for a little while. I mean, the wind, once it kicks up, that's kind of an indicator. But I'm going to cruise around a little bit more on this extremely bizarre, disjointed, strange driving video, admittedly. Three Rivers Middle College Magnet High School directly in front of us, which I cover in my walking video. So I may as well do some of the greatest hits here and before this big thunderstorm and torrential rain hits. At least around these parts I can pull over relatively quickly. It's not going to be instant. I mean, I'm on New London Turnpike. I can't just... There's no room to pull over, frankly, but I can just... I'll out of desperation go in somebody's driveway just to grab that camera off the car if things turn disastrous very, very quickly. And it is kind of, I see the flag is kind of waving a little bit more aggressively, and the overall ambiance of this area is getting a little darker, although to the left I see a clearing. So wow, Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank's thermometer's got us pegged at 95 degrees. And again, the humidity is what puts us into the I'd characterize it as the danger zone. Certain people are going to have real difficulty if they have any respiratory issues or things of that nature. I'd recommend staying indoors in a air-conditioned apartment or home, or even shopping center, or just anywhere indoors with air conditioning. Now, they had a massive fire here recently. Let let me go through here, and then when I point out, you can see where the fire was. It was the former Colonial car wash burned to the ground. I mean, some of it remains as far as, like, it was cinder block or whatever the construction was. All right, I want to get out of here without being in a line of anything. Okay, let's see if I can slip through. But I want to get, when I go through this window here, if this person, okay, so straight ahead, it's white, kind of fancy cinder block. There used to be a roof above that. The entire insides is gone. The roof is gone. It was a tremendous blaze. It could be seen for many, many miles. Jet black smoke right in front of us. So that was kind of that happened a couple days ago. That was kind of an event. That was kind of a happening where things just got out of control really, really quickly. Even the Colonial Car Wash sign up there is singed with, black, I don't know, soot or, when you get black smoke like that, I'm going to assume it's really hazardous, like burning tires or roof material and things like that. Very, very hazardous to breathe. Extremely dangerous as we drive down West Main Street in Norwich, Connecticut. As the wind starts to pick up a little bit, and again, the overall, I'd say, vibe right now feels like at some point we could get, popped with a pretty good thunderstorm, lightning, rain, thunderstorm. So it's 3:02 p.m. right now. These guys, Chelsea Groton Bank has it at 92. Back there they had it at 95 at Eastern Bank. But again, it's darkening, so the sun, no more direct sun on that thermometer or on that, that clock. So a lot of businesses around here. Harbor Freight is to the left. Fat Cat Grill and Bar is over there. And Old Times Restaurant there to the right. Mount Pleasant Street over there. And of course you got your Dollar General. And we're heading right down towards the city. I'm going to do a little cruise around on this totally random. This is if you're into my drives on YouTube, this one, you're going to have to be a real fan to stick with this one. I mean, this is all over the place. I mean, we're talking back roads of Bozrah to, I'm going to be in the city of Norwich, down city, in the same video. Two worlds collide. I mean, country, city, in one video. Well, for the super fans, if you're still watching this thing right now, thank you very much. That building that we see right there in front of us to the right, it's all bashed in and everything. It's coming down. Partially, you can see, it's partially removed. I'd say a quarter of it is gone. And that's going to be completely out of there. And I don't think it's going to take them that much longer. They started with the heavy equipment back there, so. There's a decent amount of traffic at 3:04 p.m. heading into the city. And you can see that pine tree to the right. See the wind is blowing in different directions. Wait a minute. I just saw a couple of droplets. That could be trouble. That means if I have to shut this video down quickly, and occasionally that happens, it's just going to end. So I see droplets. I got a red light. If it pours now, my camera could be destroyed. So there's a little suspense in this video. And you may see a droplet on the screen. All right, things are starting to come down heavy. I'm going to have to pull into the Howard T. Brown Memorial Park area. And those folks are running because here comes, boom, I got to get out. Okay, that's the end of the video.